Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another HABS Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 88. We're going to have on the menu, of course, JAYDEN, another NHL prospect for the Montreal Canadiens, and nobody talk a lot about him. I think is another wild card for the Montreal for the next couple of years. The next thing we're going to talk about today is 5 different candidates should have a breakout for the upcoming season. Then we're going to continue to give you update about the tournament HLINKA-GRETZKY Cup 2022. And finally, at the end, we're going to talk about different NHL news around the league with some signatures. So don't go nowhere. But before we start, you know the drill. Please click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, sharing this video, and below this video, please tell me what you think about the episode number 88. And let's dive in and talk about our first subject of the day. The first subject of the day, guys, is about the Montreal Canadiens prospect JAYDEN STRUBBLE. I feel like don't sleep on him. Too many people forget him as a left defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. They talk about Harper Ajak, Norlander, Jordan Harris, Caden Cooley, but not many times people talk about this defenseman. And he was a second-round pick for the Montreal Canadiens, 46 overall in 2019. Came from the prep school St. Sebastian in New England. His 2 years over there, 12 goals and 30 points first year. Second year, he got 10 goals and 40 points. Then he got drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. And then he jumped all the way to play for the Northeastern University, where his teammate and for the Montreal Canadiens, Jordan Harris, was the captain over there last season. And that's the reason I believe that Montreal forget about him a lot, because he played behind Harris the last 2 years. He has a bigger role this year with this college because Harris is out. He wearing the letter A as assistant captain last season with the Northeastern, and that's why he grow his leader inside that team. And then he have to learn to develop the details of the game. Now he become a defensive zone coverage better, an offensive zone controlling the puck, passing the puck better. He need to improve a little bit more his skating. That's something he need to get better. And then secondly, I would say to you, if his physicality of the game is not bad, he's not like Romanov, but he can step up a little bit more his physicality of the game. So this year is a big year for JAYDEN STRUBBLE. But one thing you don't maybe not know is he did not sign any contract yet with the Montreal Canadiens. Many teams request him when they talk about trade with the Montreal Canadiens. So we'll be interesting what the Montreal is going to do with him next season. But the good news is grow in the backyards of Ken Hughes. He played with the son of Ken Hughes, so he saw him many times. He really know who is really JAYDEN STRUBBLE. Let's dive in now for the next subject of the day. And it's all about the 5 different candidates to break out in 2022-2023 for different reasons. The first one I want to talk about is the first overall pick NHL draft 2022 by the Montreal Canadiens, Jaromír Slafkovský from Slovakia. I understand many of you were going to say, oh, he's going to make the team now. He's going to be an amazing, great hockey player, and all the expectation like we did last season about Cole Caulfield never happened, honestly. And we expect now from him, Slafkovský, to become the winner of the Calder Trophy. And I would say, wait a minute, break here, because I don't think so. He's yet ready for that. What I want to mention to you guys is he's the most ready player on the NHL draft, maybe to jump in the NHL. But he has to improve many area of his game. And that's something we need to figure out this for the next couple of weeks and months to come from him. For me this year, Jaromír Jágr, it's all about development. That's it. That's all. Nothing else. You don't need to expect him to play for the Montreal Canadiens already his first year in NHL. Don't expect him to score 25, 30 goals. He's not yet there. We have to be patient. So for me, 2 words. Patient and development is all about Jaromír Jágr. Let's talk about the number 2 candidate to break out in 2022. And I'm talking about Jordan Harris. We know he signed contract last year, complete his NCAA career last season with the Northeastern University, played 10 games with the Montreal Canadiens. The good news about him for the upcoming year, guys, first of all, he's going to play behind Edmondson, Madison. That's the first thing about this. So he's going to compete with Schoenemann, Cooley as the third pairing defenseman with the Montreal Canadiens. And, of course, he has a waiver exam. So that's the good news. So what it is, so he can return for the Laval Rocket at any time, at any moment, without go through the waiver list protection in NHL. So that's a good thing. Secondly, he's going to play on the third pairing. So the pressure of him to perform, it's not like maybe like Justin Barron example. He has to learning the game, develop his game, and again, is patient with him to see what he looked like overall. It will be his first time he play a full year if he complete the year with the Montreal Canadiens. So we talk about 80 games. That's something he never reached during the last 4 years during his career in NCAA. So adaptation is the first thing for him. Adjustment, that's the second thing. And thirdly, become a professional NHL player. That's something he needs to learn the next couple of months for him with the Montreal Canadiens. Let's dive in now for the third players candidate for the breakout in 2022-2023. And I'm talking about Justin Barron. We know he was involved in the trade between the Colorado and Montreal Canadiens, and Montreal sent Arturi Lekonen to the Avalanche. Barron have a lot of high expectation in NHL. It was a 25th overall pick by the Colorado a couple of years ago. For me this year, about him, it's about opportunities. What you talk about? But first of all, he can be the guy, become maybe the best right defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. They have only David Savard and Chris Whiteman over there. So he's going to have that kind of opportunity for sure for the upcoming year with the Montreal Canadiens. And then he can become the top 4 defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. So he needs to go to the next level for me, is to learning, stay consistency in NHL and play a full year in NHL. He's going to be a lot of minutes for the Montreal. He's going to be on the power play at some point. So Justin Barron for me is about go to the next level by learning to develop your full potential under the new assistant coach, Stefan Robidas. Something we're going to follow up for sure for the upcoming year about Justin Barron. Let's move on now for the next candidate to break out in 2022-2023 with the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm talking about Kirby Dach. We know he was involved with a trade a couple of weeks ago from Chicago to Montreal for the 13th overall pick. That pick was got from the Islanders when they sent Montreal a Romanov to there. So already people will compare that trade for many years to come about Dach. Now, here's Dach is, he need to understand, he making the NHL. But now you need to understand the making it in NHL. So stay in NHL. He have completely finished his first full career last season with the Chicago Blackhawks. Played 70 games with them. He have only 9 goals. His percentage face-off, it was really low at 36.7 at the point where they move him from center to left winger. Now, him, he's still young, only 21 years old. He's still a bit younger at Romanov. He's still about development. And for me, for him, is to develop full game in NHL. So what you talk about, coach? Offensive side zone, defensive side zone, learning to develop better face-off, learning to develop better special team, PK. He's a big body guy. He can skate. He can control the puck. He have a good hand, good vision. Now is to refine those areas where he is really great and then develop the area where he's not good yet. So for me, it's all about development for Kirby Dach, and we'll see what he's going to do for the upcoming year with the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, the last candidate to break out in 2022-2023 is Cole Caulfield. What? Yes. Now, he's going to play his second year, full year, with the Montreal Canadiens after he had a very strange year last season. With under Dominique Ducharme, he have only one goal, and then he is find his game under Martin St. Louis, have a great season overall. But for me, for the upcoming year breakout, it's all about consistency. What are you talking about, coach, about consistency? For me, it's about reach another year with over 20 goals. That would be show to us consistency. I don't care about the number, 22, 26, 28, 34. To show he still play at the same level he finished the year last season with the Montreal Canadiens. So for me, he's going to have more opportunities now. He's getting to establish his name and his spot with the Montreal Canadiens. He played on the top line for the Montreal, have a lot of minutes on the TOI, on power play, and he have all those kind of opportunities. And that's what showed to me is consistency to become that kind of player will show to us he need to break out for the upcoming year. And finally, again, for him, it's about developing and to be sure he get the next level of his game with the Montreal Canadiens. So that's conclude, guys, this subject of the 5 candidates to break out in 2022-2023. Let's move on to the next subject of the day. Let's talking about the HLINKA-GRETZKY Cup 2022. 3 more games yesterday was the end of the preliminary round for this cup. And first of all, the Canada won last night by the score 3-0 over the Sweden. We have another victory for Slovakia, beat the USA, and then Czechia beat the Swiss to complete the preliminary of the cup. And we're going to start today with the semifinal matchup. First, we have the Sweden versus the Finland. We have Canada versus Czechia. Finally, the last news of the day is about the next one is the NHL news around the league, and the New Jersey Devils signed Jesper Bratt a 1-year contract at $5.45 million. Last season has 73 points and 76 games with 26 goals. We know he's going to be, again, 1 more year RFA before he become a UFA. Won $6 million. The team won 4.5. I think they find a way to get in the middle, so avoid the arbitration hearing. So great signature for the New Jersey Devils. Brad have an amazing, great year. We'll see if he can repeat again with the Devils for the upcoming year. The next signature, guys, is from the Edmonton Oilers. They signed Kailer Yamamoto, a 2-year contract at $3.1 million for a total of $6.2 million. Last season, he had 41 points with 20 goals. Is it a great year? Yes and no. He needs to step. We need to find a way who he is. When I said that, is it a top 6 right winger? Is it a top 9 right winger? Can he play all the time on the second line? Can he have the time to play on the power play on the second unit at least? Or is honestly just third liner and not play on power play? That's what we need to figure out for Edmonton. We know that a couple of days ago they signed Jesse Puljujarvi, and now they signed Yamamoto. Both player was on the trade bait for transaction, with something we have to follow up. But again, it's a really big, important year for Kailer Yamamoto for the Edmonton Oilers. Then the last 2 more signatures of the day are, first of all, for the Columbus Blue Jackets, they signed Emil Bäckström, a 2-year contract at $800,000 per year AAV for the total of $1.6 million. Last season, in 41 games, he has 6 goals for a total of 11 points. And the Colorado Avalanche signed a veteran, 27 years old, and then he never reached his full potential with the Boston Bruins, signing a one-year contract at $750,000. Last year, and 32 games with the Boston Bruins, he have only 9 points. So it'll be interesting. Of course, Colorado is just right now add more depth on the roster. Here we go, guys. This completes the episode number 88. Habs Daily News with hockey coach, your coach Frenchie. Hopefully you enjoy it. And before we leave, we want to remind you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show. Leave me a comment about the episode number 88. And finally, of course, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.